the best place to start today's episode is with a moral question.
All right.
Are you familiar with the concept of ghosts? Do either of you believe in ghosts?
Yeah, no, absolutely. That was a great movie with Whoopi Goldberg.
Okay. What about something of substance from you, Frog?
I never really think about that stuff very much. I'm not a very spiritual person, though, so probably not.
I'll put you in believes in ghosts.
Okay.
Okay.
What is the morality of fucking a ghost? If you
Absolutely fine.
Duh.
Like, what's wrong with it?
All right.
Because ghosts can say
let-
no. Ghosts can leave. Like, ghosts can stop consent at literally any time. So, ghosts have all the power in the relationship. It's actually totally okay. They pass the Harkness test.
Okay, I'm feeling it. Let me add a layer of complexity.
All right.
A child dies in the 1700s. It is 2020. Where's the morality lay there?
Wait. Is this like the Fire Emblem, it's fine, she's an 800-year-old dragon kind of conversation?
Well, do they age in ghost time, or is it frozen Dio time?
Yeah, are they
ghosts?
are they perpetually
most
like...
ghost physics say that when they die, that's the form they're in.
Yeah, that's
All
the
right.
form they're in, but what if their mind? That's what matters.
No, the mind doesn't matter at all, Frog.
Okay, whoa.
Like,
Moth, I think it does matter because, like, let's just take a step back from the immaterial for a second.
If you had like a 30-year-old woman who had the mind of a 1-year-old.
that's even more messed up. The point in which you have to compare
That's what I'm trying to say.
level,
Mind matters.
You gotta compare the level of child
Mind
anywhere into
lives
the
matter.
equation. It's officially bad. Like, oh man, what if she's 30 with the mind of an 8-year-old? Well, that's statutory rape. What if she's 8 years old with the mind of a 300-year-old?
Moth,
That's
But she's
statutory
not.
rape.
She's a ghost. You don't.
That's
Do
not
they have an
statutory.
age?
Stop raping ghost children.
Hey,
Can't say I have. Maybe I have been raped by one. I can't tell.
if Casper grabs your dick, you're gonna go with it.
No,
That's
I'm
all
not going to
saying.
go with it
Nah, I
because
wouldn't go with
Casper
Casper.
likes
He's
to
a
I mean,
bang
how would you
preteen
stop
chicks.
it? How would you stop it?
I would
if
run my
Casper
dick
grabs
into
They
your
have to be
wall.
somewhat material.
Ghosts are rapists.
If the
Dude,
ghost
like,
grabs
he's
my dick,
got a
that means they're
big-ass
somewhat
ghost
material.
head.
I can punch his little dick hole in.
No, it's fine. Just wear a silver ring and punch him right in the face.
No, silvers, that's werewolves. That's not ghosts.
No. Precious
It'd be
metals
a-
can hit ghosts. That's why
No.
Catholic churches are lined
Iron
with them.
can. I've watched Supernatural.
Okay, so I'll go
Iron
beat
and
Casper's
salt.
ass with a rebar.
Yeah. I mean, well, you won't actually beat him. He'll just like poof away, and then he'll rematerialize when you come strong again.
And I'll be.
I
You know
watched
what?
Supernatural.
You know what? I'm going to put an iron nail straight through my dick hole, and I'm going to take on Casper.
Very good.
I'll be sounding.
Hey, everybody! Welcome to the We Fuck Ghost
No,
podcast. The
No,
only
it's
podcast
funny,
that
actually,
fucks Casper right in his pussy.
No, it's
Or is
actually
it
funny
Gussie?
you bring up ghosts because I got this thing. I don't know if you guys know this. I travel a lot for work, and
Right.
I suffer from a lot of like superstitious paranoia and whatnot, which really doesn't help my conspiracy theories. One of my and I tweeted about this. One of my legitimate fears is that there are a ton of murdered people in all the hotels that I'm in, and because I'm so suspicious and believe in ghosts, I'm always like worried that like a little girl ghost is waiting for me to go to sleep, and I got these rules I have to play by when I'm in a hotel room, like. I have to turn on the light before I open my eyes when I wake up in the hotel room, like, all sorts of rules. So one of the big ones is I have to watch, like, Cartoon Network all the time. And if a hotel doesn't have Cartoon Network, I won't sleep in that hotel.
Bruh.
What?
That's called OCD.
No, but think about it this way, like, kids love Cartoon Network. So if there's a little girl ghost waiting to murder me in my sleep, and I got Cartoon Network going, like, she'll be totally entertained, and I won't die.
Okay, but I'm just gonna, like, make your anxiety worse now. When did that ghost girl die? Because if she has, like, the brain of an 80-year-old, she's gonna look at fucking, I almost said SpongeBob, that's not Cartoon Network. She's gonna look at Clarence and be offended that you would think...
Anybody who looks at Clarence should be offended.
You should be turning on History Channel or something like that. You can't
she
just
doesn't wanna
presume
relive her
the ghost
death.
child is gonna have the mind of a ghost.
Even if she doesn't have the mind of a ghost, you can watch Cartoon Network and be entertained. I'm being considerate for this ghost.
Okay, you cannot look at modern Cartoon Network and be entertained.
You absolutely can. You got Craig of the Creek, you got Mau Mau, you got Steven Universe Future, which is way better than Steven Universe because Rebecca Sugar has officially put her "let's make the male character suffer" twist on things. Like,
That's okay. That's been part of it for like the last 3 seasons.
no, Rebecca Sugar just has this thing where she's like, "Oh, I can't let a boy grow up functionally. I have to destroy him now," which I'm totally okay with because there's still musical numbers in it. So as long as there's musical numbers, you can keep kicking Steven in the dick all you want.
That's right, people. Kick Steven in the dick as long as it produces good musical sound.
Yeah,
if his wails of pain sound like rock music, just fucking throw on some Greg Universe's new haircut. Looking like a real dad.
I will actually handle like Connie locking Steven in a closet while she makes out with Greg, as long as like I get a song as good as Stronger Than You in it.
That's the worst thing you've ever said.
What? Greg's already killed one of the important women in Steven's life. Why not another one? And he did it with his dick. That's the worst thing you've ever
said. Part 2, Electric Boogaloo. Oh God! Actually, joining me, English Mike as usual, is the illustrious Mothman, the destroyer of my fucking faith in humanity. Yeah. And Frog, the cute little baby boy with a face like pure joy.
All right,
sure. Mike. I got a question for you, right?
Okay, if it involves
all right,
Greg,
which of the crystal gems is your like? If you had to sleep with one of the crystal gems, who would it be with?
Joe.
No, this isn't for you, Frog. Which one, Mike? Which one?
Okay, so
acknowledge my answer.
So when you say crystal gems, do you mean the crystal gems or just like a gem?
Okay, like let's say like it has to be a named gem, so you can't just be like, man, I would really like to bang a lapis lazuli. Like you have to pick one from the cast.
Okay, that's interesting. I want to say Amethyst just because she has the soft body, but she's also awful and she will definitely smell like ass.
Yeah, like Amethyst is actually a female embodiment of you in my eyes, Mike. Horribly insecure and eats a lot of garbage.
I eat very little in general, thank you very much. I continue to lose weight.
I'm proud of you, by the way. Okay,
yeah, all right. If I was gonna fuck a gem, it would probably be... Oh, fuck. Who's that one with the bow, man? I really like her.
Wait, with the bow?
Yeah, she's one of the fusions.
Oh, man, fusions, like, that's cheating. That's a threesome, man, like...
Okay, but then that leaves Garnet out of it.
Alright, no, but Garnet is chill, because we didn't know she was a fusion.
Spoilers, I guess.
Shh. You already figured it out when she had 3 eyes.
Okay, God, Pearl would be my only option.
Wait. And you're talking about the one with the bow. You're talking about when, like, Pearl and Amethyst fuse.
Yeah, the one with the bow and arrow.
Yeah,
that one.
No, I gotta agree with you, though, like... Pearl. Because, Pearl is uptight, but Pearl is that. She's uptight, and then she's uptight.
Yeah, she's so high-strung that it's gonna be like trying to fit a grain of sand through a black hole. Wait, no, that doesn't work like that. That's not how that works.
Is that like trying to have sex with a ghost girl, Mike? Is that how it is for you? Is that your metaphor?
Listen. The morality of fucking gem people
I
and
will
ghost
not
girls
accept the morality of anything involving children, thank you. But, like,
you're saying children can't be moral? You're saying children can commit crimes and not be punished?
Yeah, until they turn 8 years old, just go read some Mormon doctrine.
No, all children are gross and should be killed so that they turn to ghosts, and then in 80 years it can be legal to fuck them. That's all I'm saying!
Wait, is it 80 years the amount of time it takes for ghost years to translate into, like, 3 human years?
They're not cats!
That's an interesting question.
Because, like you said, like 80 years specifically, but they would be legal after, like, 4. But if it's ghost years...
illegal after 4? Like, 12 is legal for you, Mike?
Well, 6
Can babies be
14
ghosts?
is legal for you?
4 then.
Okay, yeah, no, here's the thing. Like, Stephen King proved that babies can be ghosts with a terrible CGI baby in the 1990s on a made-for-TV movie.
The body doesn't change.
All right,
so it's
Mike,
like
back
a little ghost fleshlight with the mind of an adult.
Back to my crystal gem question, right? So you and Pearl are together, right? And you're about to finish, and she leg locks you, and she screams into your ear like, "Kill me like Greg killed Diamond." Like, what would you do, Mike? What would you do? You're in a leg lock. You might have enough stamina to break out now, but you don't know. It's happening, dude. You got to do something. What are you gonna do?
See, I don't think I could break. Like, literally, only one of two things could happen in that scenario. Either I finish and then, like, we get another hybrid baby, or I kill, like, I poof her. Because I'm not. No one's gonna be able to break out of that. Gyms are stronger than humans.
You gotta just drop your elbow because it's a pearl. Pearls aren't that tough. Just drop your elbow and just start slamming her in the thigh until it shatters, and then beat her other thigh with the thigh, and you can break away. She can regenerate the legs.
I mean, at that point, she'd just poof because they're hard like constructs.
Okay, all right. So yeah, so you'd poof them to get away.
Yeah.
Okay, all right.
Well, actually, you know what? Even that I feel weird about because then they'd reform me like, "Why the fuck you kill me? You're dead." So it's like I'd probably just finish inside. Like, yeah,
you wouldn't like poof and then like like oh I gotta hide the body, so you like cram it in your butt until you can get to like a safe place, but you might poof before you like get her out.
Yeah, well, if she reforms inside of my asshole, then it's just the Thanos and Ant-Man situation.
That's true. That's
yeah.
So what about you, Frog?
Joe.
So you want to fuck Steven's uncle? That's an interesting choice.
Yeah, right.
Joe Balls.
Man, it's so weird, like, cause I hear a lot of those like Ligma jokes and Candace jokes, but
yeah.
What's funny is I'm pretty sure my generation and the kids like 5 years older than us to about 3 years younger than me were the ones who really hit the nail on the head for like the Joe Mama, candies, nuts fit in your mouth kind of thing. And I'm hearing a resurgence of it in grown-ass Zoomers. I'm like, what is going on?
Well, I think the reason it's come back is pretty simple.
It's funny.
Because the context that it's in is usually in a serious, like, situation. Because back in the day, it's just kids playing around the playground and you say, Joe Mama, ha-ha! But now it's like someone makes a political post online and then someone's like, I cannot believe that this is going to lead to a rise of Ligma cases. And then they say, what's Ligma? And you go, Ligma balls!
Also, there's a fun nostalgic irony to stuff like that.
If you can get someone to fall for that, it feels so good, man.
Oh,
dude,
yeah,
I've gotten so many people
you.
with Grab-a-Han. It's insane.
I've never heard Grab-a-Han.
Grab a hand full of these nuts.
Mike, I was trying to save you.
You're trying to save me from my ghost fucking?
Well, yeah, that too, because now I'm like really worried. Like, if you and I are ever in a hotel room, like, I'm gonna get a different room from you so that I don't have to worry about the ghost.
Hey, I can't sleep with Cartoon Network on, so me fucking the ghost is gonna stop her from killing you. Bam.
Yeah, but I can't sleep in a hotel room without Cartoon Network on.
You guys do Cartoon Network? I just sleep with them like mathematosis vids and stuff.
Mathematosis.
Hey, if I tried to listen to an entire mathematosis video, I'd probably fall asleep too.
I actually thought Frog was setting me up for something for a second when he said mathematosis. I'm like, mathematos
no, that's an
in your ass.
Person.
Like
he tried to mathema. No, that's just
mathema balls.
Math my balls against the keyboard. I don't know.
So yeah, Joe Balls.
Joe Balls.
Oh man. So I gotta tell you guys a story real quick here. It's just I saw the whitest situation in recent memory at my gym. And
Was it the whitest kid you know?
Almost. It was the
That's
whitest
me.
Pollock I've ever met. I'm at the gym and I'm getting ready to we got this guy at the gym who works the late shift and he's great. He always talks about being like an ex-professional bodybuilder in Hawaii. He's like, yeah, I was the best trainer in Hawaii. Like, you got to have that confidence when you're a bodybuilder. And he's this big black dude and I like him a lot. He's great. He always comes in he's always home cooks his own meals and it's way too much food for a normal human being to eat. But, he's a bodybuilder, so half a chicken for breakfast is fine. And he was throwing the towels away, and they had music on the radio station. You can always tell who's working at the front desk, even if they're not at the front desk, by, the music that's playing. Like, if it's the Panic at the Disco Fall Out Boy soundtrack, it's the chick who's still in high school.
Oh.
So I'm walking around at the gym, and I'm going into the showers, and this big-ass naked dude who looked like a cross between just a human missing link and a Polish man, because the dude was covered in hair. You know when those people get those moles on their body that triple the amount of hair on their body? That was that without the moles. Like, this dude was just... He's a walking Brillo pad. Okay? And I only knew he was white because, like, at the center of his head, he had a bald spot where I could clearly see he was white. So he had hair everywhere but the center of his head. And
I think you just saw, like, a Bigfoot, dude.
Yeah, I saw his third eye, literally. It's like the only thing that could get out of his hair. So the guy's like walking around throwing towels in, and this Polish dude walks into him and he's like, "Man, motherfucker, this music slaps." In that exact tone of voice.
Hell yeah.
And I think the guy like tried to let him off easy because he looks at him, he's like, "Hey, sorry player, I didn't catch that. What's up?" And he's like, "I like this song. It jams." I was so angry.
Nah, dog, that song fucking whips.
Yeah, exactly. Actually, I think he used the word whips. I think he used the word whips, not slams. And I was just like, oh. It's like, how am I in a situation where if somebody's a different skin color than you, you change your entire mannerisms to interact with them? Like, what the hell?
I mean, that is a socially observed thing that pretty much everyone does.
No, I don't.
Now, if you'll follow me, well, you also live in Alaska where the population
that's a lot of crap. The most, and I mean, I'm not kidding when I say, like, the blackest chicken joint in the entire United States is in Alaska. And it's in the Northway Mall, which anybody who lives in Alaska knows the Northway Mall is where you go to get stabbed. You leave your car parked in the parking lot at the Northway Mall so that they break the windows, steal the tires, and you can put an insurance claim on it. It is called Hood Wings. And it is the most delicious chicken wings I have ever had in my life. And you know what? Whenever I go order food there, I don't act differently. I don't go, "Hey, playa, can I get the Yo Mama wings?" No, I walk up to the guy and I'm like, "Hey, I'll take the Mama wings, please." And then I go and I play Mortal Kombat on the arcade cabinet.
More white in an attempt to not appear racist.
I say nice things to everybody who's serving me food so they don't spit in my damn food. The only context
all
in
those
which
colored servers, you have to treat them nicely.
The only context of my tonality that changes is whether or not they're handling my food.
Yeah, you treat... I'm good.
I know you're in the deep south where they still have, like, an outhouse in the back of every Outback Steakhouse for the black people to go to, Mike, but jeez.
No, I mean, here, like, I go to a chicken joint, which there's one I really like, and there's black ladies who typically work there, and they are the nicest, sweetest ladies in the world, and they treat me like family. And I go, "Thanks, Mama June, for the chicken. I appreciate you."
Oh, God.
Mama June could just be a normal white woman from the deep south as long as she's over 280 pounds.
You do not refer to a white woman as Mama anything. That's racist.
What? Well, what about Mother Russia?
Mama, unless
That's
it's
a
your
white
Mama,
woman.
but at the same time, you're not like...
What if you're Italian,
you don't,
though?
Yeah, like, what if you're Italian? Like, Mamma Mia.
No, that's...
Hey, Mama, what's poppin' with the rigatoni? Hey,
Hey, Mama, you got a linguine in my pastrami.
Hey, I want a fucking sausage. Where the fuck?
You making the best of gnocchi, but what do I gotta wait for my birthday?
Your ass, you dumb fraud.
There's a difference between referring to someone as Mama and referring to them as Mama and the name. It's
you know, actually, like, I kind of want to do that now. Like, when I come visit you, Mike, I want to show up at this chicken joint. I just be like, "Hey, Mama, thank you so much for the fried chicken."
I like how Italians are the only thing we're allowed to be racist against.
No, Bosnians.
What?
Bosnians.
There's also the French. Fuck Mara. There's
the freaking co-host that's never been on a single episode. Or the audience at this point is like, are they just all having a lucid nightmare?
Yeah, Mara is our imaginary twink.
You have to be imaginary if you actually unironically enjoy the Goddery series.
Anyway, Moth, why don't you tell me about this Warhammer 3 thing that I don't really care about, but you're very angry about?
Warhammer 3, Mike. Warhammer 3. Yeah, you know, 3rd edition came out in 1994, and in that edition, you could have Grots take over an entire enemy vehicle as long as you rolled a 6 on the accuracy test. That was wonderful.
I don't know what a Grot
you could
is.
fit as many orcs as you could into an orc transport truck, but if any of them fell out during the movement phase, he was dead permanently from the fight. Yeah, Warhammer 3rd edition was great.
Okay.
Great.
Great.
What about
wonderful.
Warcraft now?
Oh, Warcraft. Yeah, Warcraft 3. Wonderful. Let's talk about Warcraft 3, Mike.
Thank you.
So, coming from a very special place, remember, Mormon
Every
household.
place you come from is special.
I just came from the sperm bank. I made a withdrawal.
Don't stop talking, you dummy.
Anyway, Warcraft 3, once again, grew up in a very, very religious household, and my mother didn't believe even her 14-year-old son should have T-rated games, because T was just a gateway to M. It's just funny, because, like, the moment the T-walls came down, she just bought me Fable, and that game had, like, interactive sex scenes where this weird Scottish woman was like, "Oh, you're so naughty," which pretty much killed any boner you could ever have.
Conversely, induced boners in me.
Yeah, oh, naughty boy. Oh. Yeah, like, I skipped those audio scenes because they made me horribly uncomfortable.
You like that video of like the girl who's like, "Talk dirty to me," and like the dude looks over to his translator who signs to him, and he goes like, "You're a bad girl."
Oh, it's like the best joke from My Name Is Earl. It's like when he was dating the deaf chick and didn't know how to interact with her.
Yeah.
Okay, but Warcraft 3, so that was the very first T-rated game I ever got. And the only reason I got it was because my other Mormon friend didn't let his mother know anything about the undead race, and was like, "Yeah, it's just a game where good human paladins fight orcs." And, like, joke's on you, Mom, I ended up playing undead. That's my favorite race to this day. And so I got Warcraft 3, and so probably like a good 2 solid years on the clock of my life were spent in Warcraft 3 custom games. And like, it was so big. I mean, we're talking the days when like an 80 gigabyte hard drive was a huge hard drive. I think there was one point with all the custom maps I had downloaded, I had 4 gigs of data on my hard drive, and Warcraft 3 was only 2 gigs of data. So that should just give you like an idea of how much I played Warcraft 3. So Blizzard,
2 gigs of data is actually pretty big too.
Yeah, 2
back
gigs,
then.
Yeah, well, like that was because it was discs. You had to have the discs because a lot of it ran off the discs.
Mm-hmm.
So Warcraft 3, they announced in 2018 it's going to be remastered. And as it got closer to the deadline back in December, I got an email that's like, "Hey, the game is incomplete, and we want to make sure this game is 100% when you get this game. We want you to truly enjoy the Warhammer experience." And I was like, "Oh, okay, yeah, cool. I can enjoy that." So I waited a month, and about 3 days before the game came out, somebody actually decided to read the EULA. And a little bit of history, League of Legends, the most successful online game of all time, even more so than Fortnite, came from Dota. And Dota came from Warcraft 3.
Well, isn't World of Warcraft the most successful game of all time?
No, League of Legends has made more money than World of Warcraft, I think. Because it's that free-to-play gambit. It's like, yeah, the game's free to play, so I can spend $50 on a skin. Which actually happens.
I know.
And so like Heroes of New Earth, Dota 2, League of Legends, all that came out of Warcraft 3 because they didn't own the idea of the MOBA game. And so Blizzard sued and they couldn't get the rights because blah, 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 blah. Long story short, they then made Heroes of the Storm, which really wasn't that good, but I still enjoyed playing Abathur. So they made all these games, or so they tried to sue and they couldn't sue it. So they decided like, okay, well, we're going to update the EULA and say we own the rights to all of your games, and if your game has copyrighted material in it, we have the right to delete the game off of Warcraft 3, basically. Well, that EULA has been around since they lost the lawsuit. And even then, pretty much any lawyer in any country has looked at that EULA and said that's illegal. They cannot own the right to your idea, only the assets.
Mm-hmm.
So, let's say Footman Frenzy got popular again, which was another huge game on Warcraft 3. And somebody on Steam made a game called, like, Infantryman Insanity. And as long as they used their own assets, Blizzard couldn't sue them, because that's actually, like, that's idea theft, and that's illegal. They could make their own game called Footman Frenzy, because they own the name on their game, but they can't steal your idea.
Mm-hmm.
So, everyone's panicking about the EULA, which is dumb. And then the other thing, I was on Warcraft 3 2 nights ago, playing, enjoying myself, and guess what I was playing? I was playing Helm's Deep. Alright? Like, I'm playing I was playing a super licensed IP, Lord of the Rings, and I'm playing Helm's Deep Defense as Gimli. Like, Blizzard doesn't care. The only reason that's in the EULA is so when they take down your game and delete the map data off of their battle.net, they don't get sued by Disney because you made Mickey Mouse's hardcore.
Hell yeah.
Like, that's the only reason that part of the EULA exists. That being said, Blizzard done goofed. Warcraft 3 is a mess. I have to re-log into Battle.net every single time I leave a custom game.
No,
Like,
that's awful.
Yeah, no, like, Warcraft 3 is absolutely in terrible shape right now.
I mean, I saw that their user reviews for it are like 0.2 now. It's the lowest reviewed user reviewed game on, I think, Metacritic.
Yeah, it's the lowest. And you know, it's kind of like that hate mob thing. Like, I'm glad they're getting Blizzard to do things.
Mm-hmm.
But once again, I don't trust user reviews. The Metacritic reviews giving the game a 6.1 is much more in line with the game. Because we were lied to. There was a lot of dishonesty. Blizzard needs to face the facts. And honestly, I would be okay if they faced a defamation lawsuit. Like, or not a defamation lawsuit, but a lie, like the lawsuits where you lie to people because they offered wholly brand new cutscenes, none of which is true, and then they backtracked on it. They're like, well, we were going to make the cutscenes that everybody loved back in 2018 when we showed them off, but we decided that users would appreciate the old cutscenes more. Like, what are you talking about? These cutscenes looked amazing. It's just they've done a lot of bad things, and honestly, Blizzard is a shell. Blizzard is not the company that brought you anything. Blizzard has not been good since Heart of the Swarm.
It's Activision Blizzard.
No, it's not, because Activision actually has produced a ton of good content. The Spyro trilogy.
Yeah, but
Crash
they
Team
are
Racing.
owned by Activision now, or at least they're co-owned or something.
But Activision, Crash Team Racing, the Spyro trilogy. They've been doing really, really good by their fans recently. It has actually
that's the thing. Those two games you just mentioned weren't developed by Activision or Blizzard. They were published by them.
Same as Sekiro.
Okay, that's fair. But Activision, especially, okay, they did publish Call of Duty though. They did have a major hand.
Yeah,
in
I heard the Call of
Modern
Duty game is
Warfare.
actually pretty good this time around.
Yeah, it's solid. It's truly worth your $60.
Not
there's
mine,
still
but
kind
yeah,
of a
maybe
cash
somebody's.
shop. What's funny is there's still a cash shop in it, and yet I haven't figured out how to use the cash shop in like 4 months. So
I really, so when it comes to like this whole drama of sorts around Warcraft 3, did I get it right that time?
Yeah, Warcraft 3.
When it comes to that whole drama around that, I don't have a dog in this race because I mean, I never played the game. So I don't really have that nugget of outrage. But then I also see stuff like even you posted it in our own Discord about how they changed an image from the original game to be a temporary like image that they used for like I'm not 100% sure, but just they changed it to the picture of one of the female developers that worked on this remaster. And yeah, sure, the remaster's bad. But I've seen a lot of people just complain that they changed this one thing.
Well, you have to understand, Samwise, the guy who was the original tooltip icon. So first off, let's not crucify the chick. The girl that they chose for the picture, realistically, that honestly looks like her staff profile. Like if you work at a big office, they come around, they're like, hey, we're going to need a reference photo for you on the website to show that we're diverse enough. And she probably pulled out her camera that day, took a photo, and sent it to PR. And a couple of execs made the decision. The whole, like, let's pull Samwise out of it, the reason that's an issue is because Warcraft wouldn't have its giant shoulder, big orc face designs that they have now. All elves are tall and skinny, orcs are big and clunky, everybody's got shoulder pauldrons that are way too big for them. Like, none of that would exist without Samwise's original character designs. And so him being added as a bitmap icon, or the temp icon, that was like a nod of like, hey, you know, this image doesn't exist, kind of because like either Samwise hasn't drawn it yet, or Samwise hasn't thought of anything yet, so we're going to put his face in. Like, if this girl was the new character designer, if she was the current character designer that's been working on the latest version of WoW, or she redid some of the character designs in Warcraft 3, I don't think anybody would care. They would be like, yeah, she's a character designer. or she's a designer in the game. I think they found her. She's a coder.
It's an odd thing to do.
But that just goes on to what I'm saying. It's this, like, it's such a small thing to like
really
raise hell
matter,
about.
It's
Like, and
like-
don't get me wrong. I'm not minimalizing Samwise's involvement in the original, in the whole series. Like, if everything you just said is true, then yeah, he is like the lifeblood of the thing. But his achievements still exist, even though Activision Blizzard would like to erase them by replacing the game, which is pretty shitty.
Okay.
But just this one, like, little temporary image thing, like, it's one of those things that I see harped on about this game, and it's like, this is
well look at it this
why
way.
is this one detail like such a big deal that we have to, like? Is it just because she has colored hair? Is that where we're going?
No, nobody gives nobody cares that it's her. Nobody cares that it's her. Anybody who does is actually mad about something else and is too unintelligent to actually go, this is a problem. No, they're busy going, why'd they put purple horse face girl in thing? No, look at it this way, Mike. So, somebody you really like dies. Let's say somebody you really like that I won't specify because I don't want you to think about them dying. And it already sucks that they're dead and that you have to go to their funeral.
Wait, they're dead?
They're dead. And you're at their
God
funeral,
damn it.
Mike.
Oh.
And you're putting the coffin in the grave, and all of a sudden it starts to rain. Really, Kiva? Really? You're gonna interrupt my conversation here?
The pig is back.
I think you made the piggy sad by thinking about death.
Yeah.
not me.
Yeah.
So you're dropping the coffin into the grave, and suddenly it starts to rain. Now you're already sad because it's somebody you like is dead, but now it's raining, and so somebody's definitely gonna be like, of course it has to rain. And that's exactly what this girl is. She is the rain at a funeral.
I totally get that, except in this situation, I'm walking by the funeral, and the funeral's over at this point, and they're just looking, oh man, it's raining, and that's all I see.
Yeah, exactly,
all they're
because
talking
nobody
about.
wants to think about the actual sad things that are happening, so they try to, like, find another point of frustration, because if they think about the fact that something they love is dead, they're gonna cry!
Well, that's fair, I suppose. But at the same time, I just wish I saw more discussing of the thing, because if I had seen more people talking about the actual issues with the game instead of just this one thing, I might care more about it. But the fact that I see only this one thing, the fact that all I see is them complaining about the rain, makes when they all have umbrellas, it's like, okay.
No, they don't have umbrellas. That's the thing. There's no umbrellas. You can't patch the game anymore. And here's it honestly, and you're sitting here as a spectator, so this is what's happening, Mike. So we're at the funeral, and everybody who actually genuinely enjoyed this human being is at the center of the casket, and they don't care that it's raining. They are crying, they're banging their hands on the coffin, they're like, why did he have to leave us? And then they're crying because the original Warcraft 3 got uninstalled from your computer. Original custom maps may have been deleted. You actually have to go through your library and find the ones that were and weren't deleted. The game is buggy. It logs you out of Battle.net. Tournament ladders are gone. Reign of Chaos multiplayer is gone. Like, a bunch of these things are going on, but then we have these guys on the outside who may have played like 3 or 4 maps on Warcraft 3 once upon a time, and they're like, oh, Samwise gone, and they're on the outside, so everybody who's walking by the funeral is seeing the guys go, why Samwise go bye-bye? So that's what you're seeing, Mike. You weren't in the community, because you even said it yourself, so you're not with the rest of us who are like, man, why can't I even get the level editor to load without crashing?
Oh. Yeah, it sucks.
But why Samwise gone is all I see.
Yeah, because you're literally looking at the people on the outside of the crowd shielding you from the actual mourners. I'm an actual mourner. Do I care about this girl? I don't care about her at all. I actually really like a meme they made about her where they put her on the face of the Warcraft 3 races. That was funny. But, like, it's just... it's not, it's a non-issue. Like, it's just a kick in the dick. Like, you're already down, you're watching your loved one get mugged in front of you, you've been stabbed in the kidney, and then someone decides to spit on you. That's all it is.
See, in those situations, though, like, I think it would be up to someone like you who actually cares about the whole thing to shut up. The actual everything else is done. Stop complaining about this one thing that means almost nothing, you fucking idiots.
Jeez, man.
Oh, God. He has to herd some pigs in the middle of me telling him he's a dummy dumb.
Yeah, I never played Warcraft. That was like very much beyond my level at the time. I think at the time Warcraft was a thing. I was playing like not even cool math games, like those like math blaster games. You know what I'm saying?
Ah, Math Blaster. I used to play that in school
Those
back
are
whenever they
baller.
let us play games for class.
Yeah, those are sick.
Man.
Also, some of the Magic School Bus games. Those were fucking awesome.
Dude, those games were fucking rad.
I love those games. I love the dinosaur one the most. That was cool.
I like the one where you go. I can't remember it too well because I have a very bad memory. But like you go to like a museum. I think it's a space museum.
I don't know if I had that one.
It was all school related because I didn't have a computer until like very recently.
Right, yeah. Well, I had a computer. My dad used it for work or whatever, and whenever he was not, I would like get like some time to play like some game I've played already 100 times because we didn't have very many. But I had like a couple Math Blaster games and some Magic School Bus games, and once in a while they'd get a new one. I remember there was like one time. This is like weirdest tangent to take while Moth takes a break, but
No, I didn't take a break. I just had to throw dogs out of my house.
well,
He was hurting pigs.
Like,
yeah.
So what you were saying, Mike, it is probably my job to say, hey, not all of the fans are like this, but I don't care. I'm too busy trying to salvage what is left of my enjoyment of this game, playing Enfo's Team Survival.
I don't think it's your job to tell me that those guys are idiots. I think it should be up to you to tell those guys they're idiots.
No, it's not up to me, because they're just a bunch of walking mongoloids. Like, why should I bother dealing with these guys? I'm too busy trying to recoup what little sanity is left in my childhood that I enjoy.
It's all about optics, baby.
I'm not going to handle these guys. Like, you can go crucify them. I'm enjoying my game.
Okay. All those guys are sexists and rapists, and they probably are the reason why Hillary Clinton is canceled. Got 'em.
Yep, got him. And George Takei says video games cause violence.
George Takei also says, "Oh my."
it's Takei.
George Takei says video games cause school shootings and violence and makes people misogynists and Nazis.
Oh my.
Oh my.
So,
Speaking of misogyny, let's talk about how Funimation is big dummy dumb.
Oh yeah, it was funny.
So, did you guys actually like watch? So I've seen.
Yes.
I have seen. So there's the 6-minute clip, and you guys should know what I'm talking about, where they decide to drink potions to change their genders.
I did not watch this part.
That's in the third episode.
Oh, that's
So
the one I
in
didn't watch yet.
So in the third episode, they decide to change their genders, and I had actually seen that 6-minute clip uncensored before I saw it censored, because the censored version popped up on my YouTube feed while I was with my wife. And I was like, hey, wifey, you gotta see this. This is insane. And so we watched the scene. I'm like, it really just reminded me of Terraformers. Because I could not see anything that was happening.
Yeah, okay, so apparently that episode 3 is like... I mean, so let's just tell the story, alright? So Interspecies Reviewers is an anime from this season, and I've watched 2 episodes and I really like it, and I plan on watching more, I just haven't yet. Frog's also watched it, and high five Frog for boobies. Yeah. So this show it's smutty, and that's where its comedy comes from. It's a smutty show, and the 3rd episode apparently is the smuttiest one yet, and I can see why.
Haven't watched it yet.
The reviewers take their fucking go to a brothel, and where the whole appeal of the brothel is taking a medicine to make yourself a female, and then having sex with a female. So it's like, oh, I get to figure out what it's like to be a woman. So it's like, okay, that's an interesting like avenue for a brothel.
Fair.
Of course they'd go and review that.
Yeah.
But apparently that one goes really far.
Really?
And once that episode came out, Funimation, who who had picked up interspecies
Yeah.
reviewers and was dubbing it. There's a dubbed episode of this that already exists.
Nice.
Does
I
someone
haven't
have it?
watched it.
Someone
It's
must have
probably
saved
easy
it,
to
right?
find. The first episode had come out dubbed already, so
Had
you
come
can
out.
find it. But after that episode comes out, Funimation was like, nope, dropping it. We bought the license to this. We didn't look into this at all. What? There's a manga that exists? What? There's literally anything about this?
So this is what's funny. Actually, I promise I wouldn't get political, but this actually bleeds into localization versus translation.
My most favorite topic to cringe about.
Is localization versus translation, right?
Yeah, because anyone that wants just straight translation is a fucking big old dummy.
Anybody who wants straight translation hates Funimation. So Funimation, for those of you who are just tuning into the anime world, Funimation, once again, the monster demi reviewers, absolutely is the most trash organization on the planet when it comes to localization.
Stop trying to force in Demi into the name, okay? It's interspecies reviewer. That's the name.
Yep.
Was that like a?
That was Sailor Moon.
No, that was
No,
JoJo's
that was
Bizarre
that was
Adventure.
that was JoJo OP2,
Okay.
but in like bagpipes.
It was Chiptune because that was the only ringtone that was for sale 3 years ago.
Gotcha.
Yeah. So, gosh dang it. No. Okay. Yeah. Demi reviewers. Interviews
Stop
with
it.
demi girls,
Stop it. That's a different series altogether.
and it's also porn.
No, that one's wholesome except for the
There's
fact that
nothing
teacher,
wholesome about it. A
Okay.
14-year-old girl loses her head over her
Okay.
teacher.
Those children want to bang the teacher, but the
They
teacher wants to bang
absolutely
the
wanna
adult
bang
one.
the
So
teacher.
it's fine. The teacher only wants to bang the one that's an adult.
That doesn't
so it's okay.
matter. A man wrote little girls wanting to bang a huge ass dude.
It's realistic
you-
to be fair.
It's not realistic.
It's totally realistic. You think I don't want to fuck the shit out of my like English teacher when I was like 4?
Okay, no, I don't think you did actually.
Yeah, I didn't have one when I was 4. When I was 12, absolutely.
Okay, yeah, but like you're 12, and your English teacher probably wasn't built like a freaking brick.
Actually, when I was 12, I had like a dude English teacher, but he was pretty
Like
cool.
the main character of Interview with Monster Girls looks like he'd be more at home in Gears of War than friggin' anything else.
Yeah, he's a pretty square chap. I like that guy. It's a good character design. Anyway, interspecies reviewers.
Yeah, Funimation is garbage, and anybody who wants localization and not translation is an idiot.
I tell you, the funny part is more so that they're like just like, whoops. Uh-oh.
This show we've already like produced a single episode of dubbed,
They just
and
didn't
then
look into it at all.
like literally there's a fucking like a fucking Shota Bepper in the first episode. Like
Yeah.
what are you?
What did you
Come
think
on.
was gonna happen, man? Like,
No, it's,
Also, I find it just on the topic of the show itself. I find it hilarious that the androgynous character has the biggest penis. That's like my
yeah,
favorite joke.
it's funny.
No, my biggest issue with it is it's got that design that I just hate, and it only appears in ecchi. I don't actually see it.
You
in
mean
real
a
hentai?
an actual like art style that's not just
No,
anime?
it's
Yeah.
that stupid. It's that thing where they draw like zits on the top of tits to add like light glow and whatnot. Where they have like, here's the titty, here's a red circle on top of the titty, here's a white
It's called
circle
blush.
inside.
Yeah,
it's not blush. It's a freaking zit. Like they actually put zits
no.
on the titties.
That's blush, and
That's
the
titty zit.
like all the female characters, they're literally like sex workers, so of course they
No,
have blush.
That's fine. Like it's fine. They got big old sex worker titties, but it's that like titty
Dude,
zit,
and some of
I
them
cannot
some of them
handle that.
biggies, some of them tiggles are pretty biggie. You know what I'm
Yeah,
saying?
like the cowgirl. I get it. No, I'm not. I don't have an issue with interviews with demi sex workers. I'm fine with that anime, and in the same way that I'm fine with Queen's Blade, it's just crappy fan service, and it's totally okay.
No, it's not though. Like it's
It's
Pretty
not.
funny.
Mike, don't make a mountain out of a old molehill. It is just etchy.
That's what you're doing.
It's not. You actually haven't watched it. You've admitted to it.
I watched episode 3.
No, you
didn't
said
watch
you
that
watched
one.
a 6-minute clip.
Right, but then I went back and watched episode 3 just to see.
Episode 1 and 2 are pretty funny.
So anyway, yeah, and here's the thing, like, only Funimation would be this incompetent.
Yes.
Only Funimation would be so incompetent as to buy a porno, dub the porno, sub the porno, air the porno for 3 episodes, go, wait a minute, this is porn, and then instead of standing up for themselves and being like, yeah, we totally knew we were going to do this, we're trying things in a new way, went, wait, we made a mistake.
So I want to add an extra layer of like just the comedy to this. Funimation is now owned by Sony.
Yeah, that makes sense, because I think it was a big deal. I care a lot more about the video game side of things than anime side. Once upon a time, especially on the PS2 and the PS3 and even the PS Vita up until recently, if you wanted to play like borderline smut games from Japan, you had to own a Sony console.
Hell
and I
yeah,
don't
you
know
did,
what
baby.
happened with Sony, but they've pulled like a complete 180. They've become like Christ Puritan console distributor. It's no longer a PlayStation, it's a Prey Station with them. And not just because it's made in Japan.
Remember how all the butts in Devil May Cry 5 were just gleaming like
Dude,
God rays of light?
There's a worse example of this. There's an anime titty game called Omega Labyrinth, and the sign for Omega looks like tits. Yeah. So to be on PS4, they made them change the name only on PS4 to just a labyrinth.
Wait. Is Omega Labyrinth the one with the giant witch and the Shota?
No, that's a different game. Good game, that game.
I'm not digging it.
I like dungeon crawlers, and I like
gosh.
witches, and I like I can't say the other thing.
It's not a dick. It's an uwu. The Omega symbol.
Yeah. I didn't say it looked like a dick. I said it looked like boobs.
Oh no, it looks more like the uwu face to me.
No, they literally have like on the background art. It's like the character's boobs fits into the Omega symbol.
Oh, okay, that makes more sense. But it's so weird to me now that if I want to see my softcore titty porn when I'm on a plane.
Nintendo Switch, baby.
I'm on the Switch. When I'm sitting middle seat on a plane, I'm on the Switch. I'm on the family-friendly console.
Yeah, it's very weird the world we've gotten into, wherein the same console as Naruto. I was gonna say Mario. It came out Naruto.
Road to Waluigi.
Naruto. Believe it.
So yes. It's Funimation is absolute garbage, and it just I know this was just a small thing, but I really hate localization, and the best example of this was Dragon Maid with who was the Aztec dragon again?
Quetzalcoatl.
Lukua.
Yeah, Quetzalcoatl.
Her.
Quetzalcoatl. Anyway, there's a scene, and correct my if I got this wrong, but there's actually a scene where she goes, in the Japanese version, she's wearing like a different set of clothes that's more conservative. And the main girl is like, hey, you're not wearing your titty clothes right now. And in the Japanese dub, she just goes, yeah, it's okay to change your outfit once in a while. And then Funimation for the English dub changes it to, yeah, I got so tired of appealing to the patriarchy that I decided to change to a more girl-empowered outfit.
Well, actually, in the Japanese, what she says is, people stare at me less whenever I look like this.
Okay, that's fair. Even then, like that's
now granted, I hate the Dragon Maid dub. It's awful, and it's filled with needless references to. I hate saying social justice, but that's what it is. It's just social justice pandering, which is not. It's not inherently a bad thing, but it is really obnoxious when it's obvious.
Well, I have an issue when you try to appeal to a demographic that doesn't like your media. And we deal with this a lot in Warcraft, not Warcraft. I just did it. I'm an idiot. We deal with this a lot in the Warhammer community, where I have a lot of guys who have been in the Warhammer community for decades, because Warhammer's been around forever. And they're like, hey, I would like it if they made this change, or like lore-wise, this doesn't match. And a lot of people are like, yeah, they're small things. Like one guy was actually talking about an army that just came out. He's like, I have a 9-year-old daughter. I've been in this game for 10 years. You guys just released an army that's really targeted at women called the Sisters of Battle. But I can't buy half the models for my daughter because they're literally dudes crucified to giant steam engines. Like... And that kind of critique I like, because it's like, yeah, I've been a member of this group for a long time. I don't like this. And then you have these people who don't buy the product, don't care about the product, but they see something that they don't like and they demand it be changed with no intent of participating in it once it's been changed. And I feel like that's who Funimation has been pandering to.
I don't know about that.
Yeah. Yeah, you. I'm not saying you're wrong. I'm saying that it's not that they're trying to pander to those people. It's that these people already have these politics, and I totally agree. Whenever if you're gonna say that, if you're using localization as a tool to push a political agenda that does not exist in the media that you are localizing, that's, unless it's contextually needed to be that way, which there are examples of that, it is completely unnecessary, and you should not do it because it does it does damage the original work.
Well, Mike, would you like a jelly-filled donut? Would you like a jelly-filled donut, Mike?
Four Kids is an exception. Like, everything they did was wacky as fuck.
Mike, would you like a jelly-filled donut for lunch?
Not for lunch. Are you kidding me? The jelly's gonna like fucking.
But Brock makes the best jelly-filled donuts for lunch.
Using my frying pan as a drying pan.
Yo, dog, I had for the first time the other day mochi. Y'all ever tried mochi? That shit's fucking good.
You know, actually, I still think the only time I've ever seen a good bit of localization was the original Mewtwo movie, where they're sailing as Vikings to Mewtwo's island wearing full Viking clothing. And I think Jessie puts out, she's like, what kind of Vikings would be in Japan? And James looks at her and goes, most of them are in Minnesota. And that is the only time I've liked localization at all. And the only reason is because the joke was so damn bad that it was actually funny.
See, but when it comes to, like, localization, like, a lot of jokes in Japanese don't work in other languages, because Japanese is a very specific language. And localization, it can increase it can make it so that more people are able to watch something. Because Dragon Maid got a dub, more people have seen Dragon Maid than would have otherwise.
Yeah, but that's not always a good thing. Because I don't want Frog to see Dragon Maid. I don't want Frog to enjoy something I like. He's an idiot.
You know what? Even if the dub's bad, I want it to exist so that more people will watch it. No, I don't.
Yeah, that's terrible. That's like saying,
Moth, the anime that got us into anime was dubbed anime, and the dubs were bad.
Are you kidding me? Galaxy Express 999 has a phenomenal dub.
I think Gurren's dub is alright.
Yeah, Gurren's dub is great.
I love the dub of Gurren. I defend that to the death. It's also awful because his name is Simon.
No, here's the thing, Mike. I'm going to take the conversation we just had and put it in another context. I just said, hey, peanut butter cheesecake is disgusting and shouldn't exist. And you said, while I agree peanut butter cheesecake is disgusting, I'm glad somebody made peanut butter cheesecake. Are you serious?
I don't. I like localization. I think it is a benefit. I think it's a good thing.
Localization absolutely isn't a benefit.
It broadens the audience, dude. It's good.
I will admit, there are times where translators have an issue. And a big one I saw, the best example of this is the movie Your Name. There's a scene where the girl wakes up as the boy for the first time, and she's talking to her friends, and she doesn't know how he addresses himself. So she goes, "Ore wa?" And they look at her and they're like, "What?
Boku wa?"
Well, yeah, Boku wa, she does two more, and then finally she goes, "Boku?" And they all nod at her. Nobody who understands, even the translators couldn't figure that out. They actually translated it 3 times. It's like, me? 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 Like, they actually couldn't translate it. And to localize it, you'd basically have to have the voice actor being like, me? 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 Until they, figured out, his tone of voice. I get that sometimes translators have a hard time, but localization is absolute cancer. Because then you are destroying... You are destroying...
You gave a fantastic example of localization.
Not
and
localization,
then said,
that's translation.
No, that is literally localization, Moth. What are you talking about?
But here's the thing.
Actual translation would have just been me. By adding intonation in the other language, you are localizing it so that that joke works in English or another language.
But the author's original intent at that point wasn't changed or altered.
Yes, and I completely agree. If your localization butchers the intent of the author, then it is not good localization. But if you are just straight translating everything, jokes aren't going to land. Like there's so much like. Oh, I love Nisio Isin whenever he's good, which is not all the time.
Killed Frog. Frog is dead now.
Moth, you're the one who hates Nisio Isin.
Which one's is Nisio Isin the one about the little girls in the cutely drawn elementary school and there's a deer that attacks a principal?
Nisio Isin is the author of the Gatari series.
Okay, yeah, no, what am I thinking of?
I don't know. Oh, you're thinking of School Live?
Is it Ichiro?
I'm so fucking lost, dude. This episode's been beyond me for the longest time.
All right, you know what, Frog? While we record this episode, go watch "Don't Kill Yourself, Depression Teacher." You'll like it.
Cool.
Also known as Zetsuba-san, Sayonara, or Sayonara Zetsuba-san.
Sayonara Sad Pants Teacher. Yes.
But a show that Frog did watch is a show we all watched. How you feeling about Aizoken, Frog?
I think Aizoken is my favorite thing to come out since, like, I guess it's Mob Psycho, right? But that's not very long ago. But the point is, it's my very, very favorite thing.
Since you single-handedly made Mob Psycho the anime of the decade, dickhead.
Yes, me. That was all me. Everyone, when the Anime Awards awards it to Demon Slayer, thank me for making it Mob Psycho instead.
Did Crunchyroll give it to Demon Slayer?
It's not. February 13th, I believe, is when the announcements are happening.
I can't wait for Gigguk to stand in front of a crowd of uninterested nerds and fall flat on his face again.
He may not be there.
You know, I legitimately felt bad for Gigguk that day because, like, it's the same thing with Ninja. Like, the type of people who like Fortnite and like anime are not going to get excited.
I mean, the second year wasn't so bad. It actually had a better presentation that time around.
Well, like
third year was a fucking mess. Third year was like a weird like clip show.
Well, it was that same thing.
It was so fucking good. I took a shot every time I cringed, and I fucking was drunk.
Quick little aside. I think we were talking about it, but I think I want to stream the Anime Awards this year, like restream it. And if you guys want to come, that'd be fun. But look out for that. When it comes around closer, I'll probably announce it.
Well, it's just
join the Discord so that you can actually know when we announce it, because that's where we do announcements.
Yeah, that and follow me on Twitter.
Link in the description
too.
And that's where you can hear my co-hosts say racial slurs without the public knowing they say them.
Yeah, like this one.
Frog.
Right here. Here we go.
If we did ads, it'd be
tamale.
Anyway, keep your hands off Aizoken. How about them autistic girls?
I love it. I love it so much.
You know, my wife actually pointed out that this is probably the closest representation of motivated girls in high school she's ever seen.
I don't know what that means.
Well, it's, you know, you do have girls in high school who are like, I want to get the dick in my poos. And you have the girls who are like drama queens. But then you have that very small slice of girls who are actually like motivated and know what they want to do. And they're never really represented in anime. Even My Hero Academia does a terrible job of it. But like, Aizoken nails these girls. These girls are phenomenal.
Yeah.
And I want to nail Kanamori.
I hate you. No. Hey, no one's allowed to do anything at all. Anything.
We've
ever
had
with
this
any
discussion.
Of my
Kanamori knows
girls.
about sex and has used it to get money. Guaranteed.
No. You are a cursed being. More so than anyone else.
I can actually see a doujinshi coming out for that. Like, hey,
I'm
you want to
literally going to start like mass flagging things to the FBI about this show. I swear to God.
Hey,
at least not to laugh.
I've never been so defensive about something in my goddamn life.
At least we're not trying to fuck your frog.
Yeah, that would be even worse.
She's like the least sexually appealing character since the Merchant
from
Star Wars Episode 1.
No, she's super
adorable. Let it stay
adorable.
that way.
I want to pat her head and fill her head with lies.
That's the second part sucks.
Hey kid, you want to pay for the Aizoken, don't you?
Bruh.
I want to fund their adventures through their own imagination with my dick.
You know, here's the thing. Like, I don't actually care, and I'm not a pedophile, but the fact that Frog is this defensive over it makes me want to say the most atrocious things.
While the CIA dials up Moth and Mike's number, I will describe Aizoken. Aizoken, or Keep Your Hands Off Aizoken, is the newest is Masaki Yuasa's directorial debut.
I hate you. Please die.
Masaki Yuasa is
In Minecraft.
Masaki Yuasa is Masaki? No, Masaki Yuasa, right?
Masaki Yuasa.
Masaki Yuasa is a director we're all pretty fond of, I'm pretty sure.
I'm not sure, man. I don't know anything he did.
Devilman?
Didn't care for it.
Really?
Yeah.
Fair enough.
I have one of his movies downloaded to my pooter.
Yeah, I was gonna watch
it.
that one. I wanted to see it.
I will say the ending of Devilman Crybaby has probably my favorite ending of anything ever.
It's great.
Where two best friends finally just end up boning like they should have from the beginning.
They couldn't though, because he was not a half a person anymore.
Yeah, but
he was missing his bones.
You could still grind his rib cage.
I don't think
at that point you're fucking a corpse, and that's not a ghost yet. Okay.
Yeah, no, we're not at ghost level at that point.
I don't know, man. You finally got to bone your best friend. Let him have it. He's
and then
so
at that
warm.
point, God sends the universe nukes and resets everything.
I think they weren't best friends at that point.
So, Frog, directorial debye.
Yes, directorial debut of Masaki Yuasa, the very first thing ever made, based on the manga of the same name, by author Sumito Owara, I think it is. I have it on Twitter. I will check right now. Sumito Owara is the author of the manga. About
You're
three
being
girls.
way too critical about this.
I'm just naming the author, dude.
Dude, I don't know the names of anybody in anything. I can't even remember the names of my favorite characters of my favorite
It's not
anime.
critical
at
all. This is just basic information about
You're listing off syllables I've never heard in my life.
Okay. It's about three girls, two of which have a passion for anime and the medium it involves, and
the other one is a cold, hard capitalist.
Yeah, very much so. And the three of them get together and make cool anime.
They also
together.
live in the single most interesting location that anyone's ever lived in.
So, Frog, you're 16 years old. Okay, I want you to imagine you're 16 years old again. Okay,
I don't have to imagine, but yeah.
You're going to the same. You're going to the same high school as Frog Girl, Model Girl, and Tall Girl.
Okay.
All right?
Yeah.
All right.
Don't make this about fuck again. I swear.
And the Frog Girl falls madly in lust with you, not in love with you, because
Asakusa would never.
Asakusa doesn't even know what sex is, bro.
Teenagers can't feel love; they're hormonally incapable of it. She falls madly in lust with you, and she stops going to the club because she's so infatuated with you. Would you do what was necessary, Frog? Would you break up with her just so that she could animate?
Yes.
Frog, would you dump your girlfriend so that she would animate again?
About three girls who want to make anime together. And resulting is the rest of the show is the result of that. And shenanigans will ensue, as they do. This is the one anime I want to talk about the most out of everything. Don't fuck this up right now.
Wait, is episode 3 where they had to make the presentation to the
fourth,
council?
I believe. Fourth.
Okay, yeah, episode 4 is probably one of the best episode 4s of anything I've ever seen.
That's a very specific metric, but I agree.
Usually a show like this, by the 4th episode, would be like, okay, we've caught the otaku, shit quality now. Meanwhile, it keeps, having, here's an episode of build-up, payoff, build-up, payoff. It feels so good to watch.
Very good.
I would say episode 2 and episode 3 I was falling asleep in, but episode 4 and episode 5 have been pretty solid.
Episode 3 in particular was awesome. I think 1 was incredible. 1 was an amazing start. 2 maybe a little slower, but not bad. And then 3 and 4 were awesome.
Mm-hmm. Totally agree. I think 5, if you're into mecha, 5
was awesome too. It's also
and,
one of the
and
build-up episodes.
6 isn't even out, but it's going to be amazing if you're into mecha. Guaranteed.
Did you hear they're adding the original developer of Katawa Shoujo is adding the 3 of them to the expansion pack he's making for the game?
Is that just because they're autistic?
Yeah, because that's their disability.
I think only 2 of them are autistic.
Yeah,
Sayaka,
2 of them are artistic.
Sayaka's just taking advantage of their autism. In a good way.
By the way,
chaotic good.
The Katawa Shoujo director is not adding them to the Katawa Shoujo.
I know.
Yeah, no,
I know.
because we caught on to your meme man.
Some of our audience members are kind of dumb. Like,
of course they are. They listen to this podcast.
Some of our audience members are like, if I stick my thumb too far in an M1 Garand, it'll bite my thumb. What will happen if I put my penis in it?
Ding!
Yep.
So keep your hands off
Aizuken,
man. If you aren't watching, because I don't think we've sold it hard enough. Keep your hands off Aizuken.
I can talk about this for hours.
It's phenomenal.
I'm sorry, Moth.
Everyone just.
What just happened, Moth?
What?
You disappeared.
You were going to
say
something.
It's phenomenal.
Yes, thank you.
It's I don't like animes with an all-female cast, and I love this anime.
The thing I want to point out what is really cool is that the whole point of Asakusa, the main girl, like the small little gremlin, is that she's like a concept artist. She likes drawing backgrounds and concepts for stuff, and thinks about like the actual application of the things in universe of her like stories and ideas. While Misazaki, the taller kind of model girl who does like character drawings and stuff, focuses more on like the art of animation itself and character designs and realistic movement patterns and stuff.
Yes. And there is a really good bit of visual storytelling.
Shut up. I know. No, shut up.
No, there's some really good visual storytelling. Frog,
no.
do you know what I'm talking about?
No.
There's many examples of visual storytelling. Which one is the exact specific one
you're referring to? So the frog girl.
So much. You learn a concept and you don't know what it is.
The frog girl is the perfect example of visual storytelling because you notice she's always wearing camo. And that's because she doesn't like to be noticed. And the fact that she's a background artist really shows that.
Okay.
Like, she doesn't like to be seen.
It's not
she
even
doesn't
the
like
worst
to be
thing
the
you've ever said,
spotlight.
to be honest.
So she wears camouflage and she's a background artist. That is the perfect visual story.
That's not that bad of a take. I can get behind that. It's a bit of a stretch, but I can take it.
That's the thing, though. He's making that stretch. And it's not I hate you so much.
Here's something I want that's a little more visual storytelling is that in episode 5, have you watched episode 5 yet?
Yeah, of course I've watched
Small
episode
spoiler
5.
for everyone's watched episode 5. It's very, very small. Asakusa wears light up Skechers.
Yes, and it's
the
adorable.
Cutest shit in the world.
and that is actually a visual storytelling because it's showing her coming out of her cage, and she's doing just fine now.
It's showing that she's still very innocent and childlike and stuff, but yeah.
Are you implying that Asakusa's getting cucked?
Yes, that she is getting cucked because the tall girl is now becoming
because
friends with
Frog
the other tall
refuses
girl.
to leave her, so she does her art. We've brought it around.
Brought it around.
But yeah, the big thing I want to point out is that like all three of the characters, the last character I would mention them, but like the last one, Sayaka, what's her name? Like her other name? Kanamori, yeah. I keep forgetting her other name. I always think of Sayaka.
Kanamori Damashi.
Kanamori, the tall girl everyone likes on Twitter, is like the kind of plays the role of like kind of the like anime producer to kind of like keep their creativity in check while still letting them kind of roll with their imagination. So it's almost like a small scale representation of how anime actually is made, which is really cool.
And she's kind of like literally the perfect kind of producer.
Yeah.
Because rather than telling the creatives what to do, she reins them in from being retards.
Yes.
Hey, we can't use that word anymore. That word is offensive.
Moth, are you woke scolding me?
Instead of using retard, why don't you use a more culturally acceptable word like mongoloid?
No.
Oh no, Big Puncher, I need your nose.
And the one thing I want to point out more, I could go on for hours.
Yeah, so she's being kind of mongoloided.
I can go for hours about this, but like, they do this incredible like kind of not symbolism thing. What do you call it? They do this like
visual storytelling.
No, it's not visual storytelling. This is just like what's the term?
Where they show, not tell.
That's not the best word for it. But basically, though, where they show them basically like for them working on concepts and stuff, they will show them actually like physically trying to like build a robot, for example, or trying to like kind of fix a helicopter,
design an aircraft,
or like fix a space station in this. And whenever it happens, it happens in this like weird kind of sketchy pencil looking.
It's literally
style.
A drawing board.
Yeah, exactly. It looks like it's like everything around them turns into like things they drew, and all the sound effects turn into like these mouth like. And it's
now, Frog, I have a
amazing.
question for you. Do you, Do you try to do a Hadoken every night?
I don't try to do Hadoken because I like to do Kamehamehas and go Super Saiyan. Well, no, I don't do that anymore. I did as a kid. Nowadays, I try to go Chesto, but it's doing 3 kicks in the air is not a possible thing. I mean, unless you get like a lot of height.
No, but like, watch like that scene where they're all crying about the fact that they can't become this thing that they're not.
Yeah.
It actually reminded me of, I don't know if you remember about 5 years ago on YouTube where it was all the rage for like fat, weird kids to just be like, I'm going Super Saiyan on my my cell phone camera, and they're just sitting there like in the corner screaming for 3 minutes straight.
Yeah, no, there's just like, a lot of that.
Yeah, that's what it reminded me. I was just like, ah.
Okay, I'm the soft part of the tokusatsu community on YouTube, and there are still weebs that will buy the toy belts and then pretend to henshin with them. And henshin is whenever you transform into your fucking. I'm gonna.
Wait! Is it the Power Rangers transform
like
thing
the
where they grab their belt?
No, Kamen Rider and Power Rangers are not the same thing.
They absolutely are. To make Power Rangers in America, they bought the Kamen Rider footage.
No, they bought the Sentai footage. That's a different series.
No, it was Kamen Rider. It's the same thing.
No, they're not.
It is the same thing.
It is.
Oh no, I'm gonna die.
Ultraman and Gridman are so different, guys.
Ultraman is a spin-off of
by the way. Okay, so visual storytelling
here. Cry, do it.
Did you notice when they were showing the blueprints of the previous versions of the robots that Mazinger was in there?
Yeah, all of those robots are references.
Yeah,
there was also the robot from
Neon Genesis Evangelion.
Yeah, the Eva, I think, was like an Eva-ish looking thing was there. Which is kind of funny.
All those robots are references.
Yeah, actually. So that's visual storytelling.
But that's spoiling too much. I don't want to because if no one here's if people listening haven't watched Keep Your Hands Up Isaac yet, I implore you to please watch it.
Look, this episode
if you're
is going
a creative
to come
type,
out.
you have to.
Because I think I really like almost done with this because I can like put my final words in for this.
If you're artistic, this is a show about artistic people.
It's artistic people being artistic and creative. It's basically like the perfect show that tries to represent like the creative process and getting inspired and amped up about working with something. Finding someone who's like has the same or similar passions as you that understands you and kind of working together with them to make something really cool.
It's literally a show about us.
Yeah. Because I love that kind of thing, man.
Moth is Kanamori, and that makes me sad.
And I think we both had
this. Kanamori?
I think we both said this, actually. When the first episode came out, like, a couple weeks ago now, we both kind of had a creative spike in, like, energy to want to do
actually,
something.
episode 4 did that. Like, it is weird. I found myself at the end of episode 4, like, almost crying, but not like the sad crying. It was like...
Yeah.
I want to go downstairs and I want to program that orc pregnancy simulator that I've been needing to program for months now.
It's
when I finished watching the first episode, I sat down for 10 hours straight and finished a YouTube video.
Yeah, you did.
What the fuck?
When I watched the first episode, I started animating again, which was crazy, which I haven't done in a while.
So,
it's just can I just like mention how specifically this show targets me? It's like a crime.
Oh, yeah, no,
yes,
like...
because you've only changed your profile picture to the frog girl.
Yeah, I mean, that's... What?
That's visual storytelling, folks.
Yeah, alright. Very good.
Anyway, hey, I've been watching some Netflix.
Have you?
And not chilling, because I am not a virgin, but pretty much am celibate.
I just realized, like, Mike, I actually think you might be a pedophile, because you watch Netflix, you want to fuck ghosts. Like, I'm a little bit
ghosts
worried.
can be adult.
I don't know if you know what pedophile means, if you think it involves ghosts.
No, like,
or Netflix.
But, like, Netflix is just scary, man. Like, Netflix has a lot of, like, hebebophilia stuff on it.
I thought you were referencing that I saw a post on Twitter today, and it was someone saying Netflix is scary because the background's dark.
No, that's terrifying, but no, that's not the reason. Wait, you've never been watching Netflix in a hotel room when it's dark and it's just like the background isn't illuminating the room anymore, so you're just like, oh boy, I'm gonna switch left and there's just gonna be a zombie girl screaming at me.
Moth, my job doesn't afford me the ability to travel, nor does it allow me to travel for the job, so no, can't say I have. Okay. I don't go into many hotel rooms, haven't since high school.
Here's what you need to do, Mike. You need to go rent a hotel room like a Hampton or something, because those are relatively cheap. and you need to hook up like an Amazon Fire Stick and watch Netflix at night and tell me that ain't the scariest damn thing.
So, have either of you watched or heard of Scissor 7?
No.
Yes, I did actually, and I watched all of 5 minutes before I turned it off.
Alright, then that means Moth isn't allowed to talk for the remainder of this segment.
That's a
Frog,
load of crap.
you should check out Scissor 7. It's a fun exploration of animation through Chinese creators.
Oh. Okay. I didn't know it was about animation.
It's not about animation, it just has really interesting and animation. Simplistic, the episodes are like 12 minutes long. It's really easy to watch.
Okay.
And it's about a wannabe assassin named I think his name's Seven? I can't remember. And his only ability is that he can manipulate scissors. Which means he's a useless assassin and gets his ass kicked constantly.
That sounds like a really good power for an assassin to have. What are you kidding me?
See, that's the
You'd think,
thing.
But then there's a chick who can control her hair to murder people with, and she's way better than him.
See, the show, it starts out, the first episode, he's not an assassin. He just works at a fucking rice bowl cart. And then, like, some kid makes fun of him for being shit at making rice bowls, and his bosses appear. He's like, hey, you're not making rice bowls anymore. Now you're going to be an assassin. It's like, I don't even know how to do that. And that's how it starts.
I see.
And it kind of reminds me, not in quality of, but it has kind of a similar tone to Space Dandy, where
Okay, yeah. Taking the
the
piss.
main character is a total fucking idiot.
Gotcha.
And he just fumbles through, like, and there's really great episodes in there, like one where a cat pays him to kill a dog, and when he gets there, it turns out, it's because that dog was fucking that cat, and the cat wanted children, and he was like, I gotta leave. And it's like, what the fuck's going on? Like, what the actual fuck's going on? And it ends with him taking the appearance of that dog to tell her, to play her a song and be like, hey, don't try and kill me anymore. I actually love you. And also pay the assassin because he's tried to do his job as best he could. Bye. And then it's really funny. Really good. I haven't finished it, but like, I don't know if I will. I've gotten a lot out of it. I might keep watching it if Frog picks it up.
Yeah, maybe. It sounds kind of silly. I might be into that. It's like...
Now, I have also watched something Netflix, Mike.
Ooh.
Now, I'm going to say this. I find this season of anime very jarring because the best boys currently in this season of anime are in a Bishoujo, and the best girls are in a seinen, and it's very, very weird. So,
wait, what's seinen?
The best... Doro Hetero.
Oh, okay.
Yeah.
Oh,
so
yeah.
the best girls are in Doro Hetero, which is on Netflix Japan, and I have to pirate off kissanime.ru.
Hell yeah.
Hell yeah. for
Crunchyroll,
Kiss
please
Anime.
still sponsor us.
I don't want Crunchyroll to sponsor us. They sponsor Mother's Basement.
I mean...
I mean, Jeff might be a through, but that don't mean I'm through with Crunchyroll.
Look, man, I will burn down all of our sponsors right
Dude,
here.
imagine
Raid Shadow Legends is garbage.
crunchyroll.com/hate.
that's literally all I want. Please, Crunchy Daddy, please.
And it's just reruns of Golden Kamui on repeat.
Imagine it just says
nonstop.
/Moth.
Oh, that's what it would end up being.
Yeah.
Jeez.
/Mike.
Just so everybody knows, Mike, this is Mike's anime podcast. I have nothing to do with it. I'm just the guy who makes it interesting.
Yeah, pretty much.
So right now, Doro Hetero is probably, I would say that while Keep Your Hands Off the Aizokin is definitely phenomenal for the director and the way he's choosing to animate everything and the way he's choosing to interpret it.
And the soundtrack.
Doro
and everything
Hetero
else about
is... Well, so yeah, it is... this is something where they take a good manga and make it a really good anime. Doro Hetero is where you have a phenomenal manga and decide to make it a really good anime.
I don't
And-
follow.
So I would say Aizokin
I try
is
not
better.
to follow Moth because I tend to get lost when I do.
I would say Aizokin is a better anime than it is a manga. Doro Hetero
I mean, I
is
haven't read
definitely
it.
a better manga than it is an anime.
I
Okay.
have read Doro, though. And
That is
Now,
something I'll probably agree with too.
Now, that being said, Mappa is probably the only company I trust to do 3D animation. Just pure and simple.
Orange.
What? No, go away, you
Orange.
fake gamer girl.
Orange, though.
But no, it's Dorohedoro is phenomenal. Here's the thing: we are 4 episodes in, and I have no idea what the damn plot is.
Yeah, no, that's gonna happen.
That's
pretty much
Dorohedoro.
the entirety of the thing. There isn't really a plot. Its structure is like
There is a plot.
there is a plot, but it's not.
And it comes together
like-
at the end, but like at the beginning it starts and then expands out, and then it all connects at literally the very end, and then it's a small line to the ending. It's fucking everywhere.
And you know what? I actually enjoy it. It's got that same level of insanity I enjoyed in Golden Kamui. I know you guys are really in love with Aizokin, but I'm gonna be the contrarian and say I like Dorohedoro.
Oh, that's fine. It's a good show. I just don't want to watch
Frog,
it.
I will say this about it. I know you've only watched the first episode.
Yeah.
The first episode's not that great, but every episode after that's been actually really great.
Okay, maybe it is. I don't know. The first episode I saw didn't impress me.
Dude, the zombie episode killed me.
Dude, that
the
episode's
zombie
really
episode
great.
Destroyed me. Can we talk about Hulu real quick? The 2 on Hulu, because nobody ever notices when anything comes out on Hulu or
that's
Amazon.
Pet, and what's the other one?
So, no, the 2 on Hulu right now, one of them is Smile Down the Runway, which neither of you watched.
Oh, that's on Hulu? If I'd known it was on Hulu, I would have already watched it.
Yeah, so, Smile Down
Oh, wait,
the Runway...
I was thinking Amazon. Fuck Hulu.
Yeah, well, whatever. I have Disney Plus because I'm a corporate whore.
True.
But I Smile Down the Runway, and I don't want to take damage, so I stat dumped in Ragnarok.
Oh yeah, I'm not gonna watch that.
Oh, that's actually a pretty good show, Frog, unironically.
I mean,
unironically.
I'm still not gonna watch it.
Here's the thing: the main character is a girl, and like the only 2 characters in it are girls, and I like it. So that should say something.
If you don't like the main issue with that show is that it was clearly made by someone who plays MMOs but has never made a game in their life, because the way that game world works is not how any game world has ever worked. But because of that, it allows itself to feel like an actual fantasy series, and therefore it feels actually fun to watch.
No, this feels like, I would say, closer to somebody who played Ragnarok Online and then forgot half of what Ragnarok Online was. Because a lot of what she does feels like you could have done that in Ragnarok Online.
Yeah, but
Like,
I'm specifically talking about things like going to a dungeon and that no one knows about, and getting armor that no one's ever heard of, because that does not happen in video games.
That happened all the time in Ragnarok Online. People couldn't find stuff for the longest time. Nobody knew that you had to punch a toy box to get into a special slime boss.
Anyway,
MMOs suck.
No, But, so, yeah, I don't want to get hurt, so I dumped all my points into Vitality. Is the perfect game for people who enjoyed Ragnarok Online and want to watch a terrible anime where somebody who's so bad at what they do, they cheese their way through the game. Basically, yeah, just watch it.
So going back to the original thing about Netflix, I also watched Kipo and the Age of the Wonder Beasts.
Wait, is that the one about the girl who comes out of the sewer grate and is like, I'm on the surface?
Yes.
That's
yeah,
Gurren
I really
Lagann.
liked the first episode. No, Gurren Lagann is absolute trash compared to this. Because Gurren Lagann did not have well-dressed frogs.
As well as
Oh yeah, dude, frog. Yeah, there's an entire group of like hitmen frogs in Kipo and the Age of the Wonder Beasts.
Sounds cute.
And they're you would probably, one of them's one of the main characters. You'll probably love the show just based off that.
Wait. I didn't get to say the other one, Mike. Screw you. Smile Down the Runway.
Don't say shit
Watch
to
Smile
me.
Down the
I was
Runway.
already like, hey, I'd watch some Netflix, and then you're like, yes, and now let me hijack it for something that no one has seen because it's not technically on Netflix yet. Screw you!
Screw you. Dorohedero's phenomenal, and you should watch Smile Down the Runway because it's an anime about a really short girl trying to be a model and an uke trying to be a fashion designer in a world surrounded by semeis. Fight me.
Sounds like Princess Jellyfish with extra steps.
It kind of actually is. Like, it absolutely is. Like, it's a better version of Princess Jellyfish.
Before I let you
don't know about
continue, Mike, sorry. There was something I saw. Was it coming out next season or this season? There was like some kind of girl who turns into like a bear suit or something. Like a FNAF-ass looking suit.
That's Glepnir, and it's about a dude.
Is that
dude
coming
who
out this
turns
season?
into a furry
Or is that
outfit.
next season?
Wait. Is this the one where they all put on the furry outfits?
I have no idea.
Yeah.
I have
No.
idea.
I've read a little bit of the manga because it's gonna be the edgy show this year.
I was kind of
but
curious
not-
about that one. That's all.
but not okay. There's another show next season that's going to be the actual edgy show, and it's like you remember how people were like saw the first episode of Shield Hero and like raised a stink about it, and then the rest of the show was fine.
Well,
this show's that, but like also worse in every way, and it's actually kind of reprehensible.
First episode of Shield Hero was actually good, and then the rest of the series sucked.
Okay,
True.
Continue, Mike.
Anyway, Gleipnir is going to be awesome. Because I read a little bit of the manga. It
looks cool.
It's
Gleipnir
basically about
is
these
just-
people
it's
who
Attack
are
on Titan with
monsters
extra steps.
and they have to fight each other in a battle royale. It's very kind of generic anime edgy battle royale, but the main character literally turns into a fucking giant mascot thing.
Yeah, it looks like a FNAF looking dude.
He gets stronger when someone climbs inside of his insides because he's hollow on the inside when he's in that form.
So
And,
he's Teddy from Persona 4.
Yeah, kind of, yeah. Not even wrong.
Huh.
Yeah, Persona
Anyway,
4 is the best Persona and the best Shin
Kipo
Megami
in the
Tensei game.
Age of the Wonder Beasts. Have either of you heard of one of my favorite 2010s animation studios, Man of Action?
No.
I've heard of it.
So Man of Action, and I know you've heard of the shows they made. Now Kipo is not related to these.
No,
but,
that's made by DreamWorks.
yeah, it feels like one of those shows. So, Ben 10, all of them except for the newest one, I believe. Then you have Generator X.
Avengers Assemble, Ultimate Spider-Man, Big Hero 6.
No, I'm not talking about. I'm
Man
talking
of
about
Action.
Man of Action. You just talked about DreamWorks.
No, Ben 10, Generator Rex, Avengers Assemble, Ultimate Spider-Man, and Big Hero 6 was all Man of Action.
Did they do? I mean, I'm not
I'm on
familiar.
the Disney Wiki right now. And
What?
nothing that,
Whatever, fool. This show feels like one of those old, like, mid-2000s action shows in, like, a really great way. There's also really good representation in the show. There's good metaphors. There is a character who is gay, and you don't find out by them saying, I'm gay! You find out in like, a really subtle way, and it's like,
In a real
nice.
subtle way when they fuck a dude on camera.
Straight
when the one
dead
frog
ass.
is tongue deep inside the other frog.
Yeah.
And like it's about this post-apocalyptic world in which they haven't like gone into what happened, but essentially the upper world has been fucking mutated. It's a lot like Fallout or something like that, except not as depressing. And a human settlement gets like ransacked, leaving one of the girls from that settlement separated. And she's trying to find her way back home to see if her family's alive. And you get to experience this like post-apocalyptic world that's had to live mostly without humans. And it's super cool. I do have criticisms of it, but as this show is still pretty new and neither of you have gotten far into it, Moth, I think you said you watched the first episode, right?
I watched the first episode. I saw that frog tongue deep inside the other frog, so I know
Hell
exactly which
yeah.
character is gay.
Isn't it like hilarious? Okay, there in the show, the frog people they ride around in a car that's pulled by a dragonfly because the motor
Oh,
doesn't
that was
work.
phenomenal. Yeah, exactly. It's nice ways of doing things.
There's a great moment later where they tie giant flies to the wheels of the car to make it fly.
Yeah.
Sounds fun.
It's super fun, and it has really good animation. There's actual good animation in a Western cartoon, and it's
There are moments where it drops to like there are points where like the frame rate drops to 6 frames per second though.
Oh yeah, totally. Like, I mean, this show wasn't developed in a Japanese sweatshop, so of course it's not going to be quality all over the place. But like, it's even with like there's a specific thing, and it's totally a spoiler to talk about that I don't like because it wasn't established at all until it appears. Outside of that one thing, it's all good, and I love it, and all the characters are great, and it's fun. And when it was over, because the first season's like 8 episodes long, I was like, it's clearly getting a second season, and that Netflix will not make any more than that, because that's what Netflix does.
Yeah.
Oh, man.
So yeah. Is that everything? Have we talked about everything we're going to talk about? Because I want to end this episode on some Twitter drama.
That's a terrible way to
Wait,
end the
what kind
episode.
of What kind of I don't get I could spill the tea, sis. I get in Twitter drama for fun. What Twitter drama do you put yourself in?
Localizer versus translator over a word.
Oh no, not this one.
Yes, this
one's
one,
so
Mike.
dumb.
This one is hilarious because I now have my new favorite term for a transgender person.
No, but no.
Mike, I'm gonna say it. I'm gonna say it. Mike, let me say it. Can I say it? If you tell me not to say it, I won't say it.
I will allow you to say it, but in so doing, I want to apologize to literally any single person that listened to this.
I might have to take it out. I have no idea what it is.
I know.
Ready, Mike? Ready?
It's a classic. Go ahead.
It's an absolute classic. Ready? It's new half.
Oh, what? Wait, what?
I don't get it.
Yeah.
Yeah,
that was the word.
I already know about new half. That's like old. That's like an old.
Yeah, but like I never heard that word before, and I think it's like kind of hilarious.
It's basically the way Japanese people say tranny. It basically means the same thing.
So the Twitter drama we're ending this episode on is a translator who translates obscure Japanese games from the Super NES era.
Yeah,
he translated
not
localized.
Goemon 3, I believe.
Yeah, Goemon 3. Translated, not localized, translated the word new half to tranny.
No, that's a localization. That's not a translation.
No, that's exactly a translation. Like
no, that's not. The translation of the word would have been new half. If he had been. I hate you that you don't understand the difference between these two words, yet you feel so strongly about both of them.
No, that's absolutely translation.
Frog, please don't be silent. You gotta help me. I can't.
As soon as I heard that there was gonna be drama, I just tuned the fuck out, dude.
No, so basically, what is it? Is it who was the magazine that crucified him and sent the Twitter mob after him? Was it Gamatsu?
No, it was not Gamatsu.
I think I might have seen this.
Smaller one.
I don't know. Did someone? Someone translated something in like was it a game? I don't remember.
It was going on. You actually like completely zoned out.
No, dude, I don't.
Yeah, holy crap!
You don't understand how little I want to deal with like issues like this.
You actually disappeared off the face of the earth because we already got there.
Okay, so Frog, the thing I want you to just a translator made the word from Japanese the word new half and translated it to tranny in a game.
Yeah, I think I saw something about this, and like people like got on his ass, even though that was like the most direct thing that the person would have said in the game.
Yeah,
and then he got
that was the perfect translation.
Yeah, no, that's
no,
dumb.
That's not a translation. That's a localization. If the translation would have been just new half.
A localization.
This is a dumb distinction. Who cares?
It's an important thing because Moth cares so much about it.
If he didn't care,
in normal parlance, if he had just said translation and it wasn't someone that made a big deal out of this, I would totally let it slide.
Mike, a translation. So the character says to another character, she goes, "I haven't told my boyfriend that I'm a new half yet. Should I tell him or let him find out on his own? Tee-hee."
All according to Keikaku.
Right, and they translated it to,
no, stop. The thing you just told me was the translation. The thing you just said was the
original
Japanese.
Yes,
exactly. No, I need you to stop, Moth. I need you to understand.
No, the translator.
No, I need you to stop. I need you to understand. You just told me the literal translation of the words, and then you're telling me, and then he translated them to other words. That's not translation. That's localization.
No, that's translation.
No, now you're being dumb.
The intent stayed the exact same, using almost the exact same words. It used homonyms.
But that's what localization is. You change the words to fit the culture. No, localization is when
localization is exclusively like changing content when it means like usually at least it means well, some localization teams can change content, which is kind of dumb, but usually it means just rephrasing things to make them flow more naturally in different languages.
The term refers to making something local. It means you're putting it in a language for other people to recognize. So the actual translation of that thing is referring it to a new half, but a non-Japanese audience will not inherently know what a new half is referring to. So they localized it to tranny.
It's not a homonym.
No, he used...
Wait, what's a homonym?
No, it's not a synonym. No,
I was gonna say synonym is what you're looking for.
It's a cinnamon.
It's
he used a cinnamon
yes.
stick.
Okay, so he used a synonym. That is still translation.
Yeah,
in my
but
eyes.
new
That
half is not like
That's
a
not-
term we have here in the West. It's like,
Exactly. That's a translation. He
No,
translated
that
it
is a
correctly.
localization.
it's like
No.
saying like I don't know, what's a good example for
Mike,
this?
localization would have been if he had gone and changed the line to, "Teehee, I haven't told my boyfriend I'm trans yet. Should I let him find out
It's
on
the
my
Moth.
own?"
same, except that
Moth.
one of them isn't a slur.
Yes, that both of
Yes,
those.
but the character
both-
used a slur.
Yeah, I know. That's what I'm saying.
There
that
is
would
your
be, that would be
translation.
changing, and that would be localization, but it would be non-faithful localization. Is what I'm trying to
Both
get at.
of those are localizations. One of them just uses a word that's more similar to the translation. The translation would be new half.
No, the translation would have been tranny in this situation.
That's
No,
not how that
that's the
works.
localization.
we don't
We
have
could
the
go on
term
for like
new
5
half.
minutes. Who cares?
You're
dude?
right, Moth. You're right. They don't have the term new half in English, so they had to localize
So
it.
saying any slur that would have been a slur against transgender people would have been acceptable in that situation because it still would have been a direct translation.
No,
No,
it
it would have been a.
localization. We've been on this too long. It doesn't matter.
I just want people to know the amount of just inanery that exists inside of Moth's skull.
Oh, here's the thing. Persona 4 Golden was a perfect translation out the door because they say Golden Week. They don't go, "Oh yeah, we're celebrating this obscure American holiday that doesn't translate at all to Golden Week." They say Golden Week. They talk about Japanese lore. Like, it is a direct translation. It is not a localization.
Moth,
Yes?
you're talking about a game that is filled with localization.
No, nothing
Stop.
about that game is localized.
Yes, it is. Oh my! I could go on. I could
It is
literally
one of the
go
perfect
on.
translations. Like, Birdo is a localization.
And that's a whole other thing altogether. I just need to stop.
Speaking of transgender
Thanks
characters
for
that got
watching the We
localized.
Hate Anime podcast, the only podcast where Moth talks about slurs. I've been your host, English Mike. Follow me on Twitter, where I post politics and you won't like it. Follow Moth on Twitter, where he posts like Wint, but no one likes it. And follow Frog on Twitter, where he posts fighting games and no one likes it.
I got a couple people who like it.
Yeah, like, I like Frog's Twitter. It's inoffensive and enjoyable.
Also,
Yeah.
join our Discord. Links in the description. Links to our Twitters also in the description. Links to all podcast sources if you want to watch this on something other than where you're watching it now, or listening if you're listening through audio. Please interact with us, rate us, comment, subscribe to us, all that other homosexual things. I
Very
love you.
homosexual.
You're my father. I'm sorry to tell you this.
Damn, it's
Like-
what a bomb to drop.
Mike, before we go, I have a question for you.
It better be about fucking ghosts.
Mike, do you know why cows have hooves?
You're an utter embarrassment.
Because they lack toes, Mike. Because they lack toes.
Should I just like say how like after I screamed in Italian in the beginning of the episode, my parents were texting at me to shut up?
そんな優しくしないで